Fear has two meanings: fear everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours. Fear is a natural, primitive, and powerful emotion, often instilled in childhood. Eat your food, or the bogeyman will get you. Do your homework, or I'll tell your teacher. And later, do good, or you'll go to hell. Fear involves a universal biochemical reaction, the fight or flight response, and a highly personalized emotional reaction. Fear can be your friend in the right doses, but too much of it can be harmful. Fear stems from real hazards, but it can also originate from imaginary threats. People have all kinds of phobias: fear of heights, fear of the unknown, fear of being alone, fear of crowded places, and also fear of spiders. Fear can also be a symptom of some mental health issues. Have you ever wondered why scary movies can be fun? This is because fear induces the same chemical reactions in your brain that positive emotions like happiness do. This is why some people are adrenaline seekers, thriving on extreme sport and other high-risk ventures. At times, fear enables concentration and helps shed distractions, resulting in outstanding performance. Weightlifters are known to lift an additional 12% in critical conditions. Heroic acts come about in hostage crises or terrorist attacks. Fear prevents you from taking risks, but sometimes being too risk-averse can lead to a joy-averse life. Fear of commitment deprives you of wonderful relationships. And the choices you make and the risks you take are the factors that make for happiness. Fear is one of the 9 rasas or basic human emotions listed in the Vedas, the oldest known source of knowledge. Vedanta, the last portion of each of the Vedas, the science of self-management, gives us the pathway to overcome fear. First, let's take a look at the cause of fear. Fear arises from largely 5 causes: wrongdoing, selfishness, desire, ignorance, and otherness. Wrongdoing. When you're upright and straightforward, there is no fear. In the Mahabharata, the evil Kauravas army was at least 1.5 times that of the Pandavas, but it was the Kauravas who were fearful. Selfishness. A selfish person cares only about himself and views everyone else as an opponent. Selfish people are afraid of competitors, they imagine enemies outside, and they mistake benefactors for malefactors. Fear is a modification of desire. When desire is fulfilled and you obtain the object of desire, there is fear of losing it. Wealthy people are afraid someone will steal their money. A beautiful lady is afraid of old age and ugliness. And famous people fear loss of reputation. Ignorance. We are all afraid of death because it's an unknown entity. Perhaps if we knew what would happen after death, we would not fear it that much. And otherness, of course, is a source of fear. An Indian in India does not fear a cop. But the same Indian in the United States, caught for speeding, panics. This is why Indians who might blatantly break laws in India become law-abiding citizens overseas. Fearlessness is a sign of spiritual development. When you enrich yourself from within, you become resilient, independent, strong, and fearless. The first step to dealing with fear is to use the intellect, the discriminating faculty in you, to assess, analyze, and overcome fear. Swami Vivekananda was once walking along a street in Banaras, and a group of monkeys chased after him. He ran. A monk by the roadside told him to face the brutes. He stopped, turned, and looked at the monkeys. They fled. So is it with fear. Develop the intellect. The intellect is developed pretty much the same way as the body is, through exercise. Think, question, inquire, reflect. Think originally, independently, without being influenced by others. When the intellect becomes strong, it has the capacity to control the whims and fancies of the wayward mind. The mind is the seat of emotions, feelings, likes and dislikes. Emotions like love, hatred, anxiety, jealousy, envy, so on and so forth. The mind does not have the capacity to decipher what is in your interest, what is not in your interest. Emotion has no reason. Why do you love someone? No reason. Why do you hate your mother-in-law? No reason at all. Why are you afraid of the dark? No reason. And so on. Why are you jealous? Again, no reason. When the intellect is weak, the mind and its emotions run riot and devastate your personality. Many years ago in Mumbai, a very senior naval officer shot his wife's lover and ruined his life. Any emotion unchecked can wreak havoc. The same emotion, guided, supervised, and controlled by the intellect, is a beautiful thing to have. Otherwise, you're held captive by your own mind. The spiritual path gets to the root of the problem. It consists of 3 simple practices that every single human being can follow. It does not require you to change your lifestyle, wardrobe, or profession. All it takes is a slight shift in thinking, and the results are magical. Let's take a look at these practices. At the body level, we perform action. Act with the attitude of giving, not taking. Substitute the urge to grab with the desire to serve. Shift from profiteering to offering. Fear vanishes when you become a giver. In The Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, Sidney Carton changes places with a prisoner who's about to be guillotined the following day. And the next day, when he's carted to the guillotine, he says, "It's a far, far better thing I do than I've ever done. It's a far, far better world I go to than I've ever known." The law is give, you gain, grab, you lose. Physics corroborates this. An object is red in color because it absorbs all the other colors except red. Amazingly, what it gives, it retains. And the 6 colors it grabs, it loses. So is it in life. The more you give, the more you gain. All givers are happy. Take a look at 2 kids in kindergarten. One child comes to school with chocolate and shares it with her friends. She's beaming. She has a smile on her face. She's happy. The other child says, "No, it's mine." She has a frown on her face. Second, emotion. We are all strongly entrenched in feelings of separateness. Substitute this with oneness. Embrace the world with love, affection, consideration, and compassion. The Vedas roar with the truth, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole universe is one family. Reach out to people with affection and they return the courtesy. They go beyond the call of duty and you achieve outstanding success. Fear vanishes when you feel one. Yudhishthir in the Mahabharata was called Ajatashatru, one whose enemy is not yet born, because he did not consider anybody as an enemy. Oneness makes for happiness. Today, you're happy only when good things happen to you. You buy a luxury car, you're happy. If your neighbor buys a luxury car, you are positively unhappy. But if you feel one with the neighbor, he buys the car, he maintains it, you celebrate as if the car was yours. Expand your circle of love to the whole world and your happiness multiplies 8 billion times. The third, thought, knowledge. Not knowledge of science or economics, but knowledge of the distinction between the permanent and the impermanent. The world and all that it offers is temporary, passing, transitory, and impermanent. When you understand this, you become fearless because there is no fear of losing. You know it will go. When you become a sharp thinker, you develop clear thinking, you become successful in life, you're happy because your happiness is not dependent on the world, whatever it offers, pandemic or no pandemic. And you get established in the permanent. With these practices, not only do you become fearless and confident, but you grow into a towering personality. You're able to take calculated risks, you're unfazed by failure even if it comes to you, and you gain power over the world. You attain outstanding success. You become tremendously happy, and you tap into the source of the fountainhead of bliss, magnificence, and beauty within.